When I think about it, my life story didn't start happy. Actually, it got sadder as it continued. My mother passed away the day I was born. I never got to see her face with my own eyes, hear her voice, or feel her touch, and will never get that pleasure. Because I didn't have a mom, other students would tease me, forcing me to hide during recess or lunchtime. I wish I could say I had a friend, a single person that helped or understood me, but I didn't. I was alone, and throughout the years, was always alone. It was my fault. The kids who made fun of me and those around me would constantly blame me for my mom's passing, and I believed them for years until I turned 7 years old. Even then, things didn't get better because my father lost his job, and we had to fight for every little possession and meal we ate. I made the mistake of asking him one night, "Why is this happening to us? Why can't I have a normal life like any other person?" He shouted back, "Because you don't deserve a normal life. It's all your fault. If you were never born, your mother would be alive and with me right now, but she isn't, and it's all your fault." It was my fault. My father was drunk that night, but I had never seen him that angry. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be the last time he'd say that to me. As days passed, my father began telling me that more often, uttering the same sentences over and over again. "It's all your fault." After a year of this, it ended when I came home from school and saw police vehicles and an ambulance outside. I walked closer to my house, trying to see what had happened, and while pushing through a crowd of strangers, I'd hear people whispering to each other. "Such a shame. The poor man was sick on the floor while his daughter was out with some guy." I know, right? What a horrible daughter. Such a shame for her family. If her mother was alive, she'd be ashamed to look at her. I mean, who would look at that thing's face? I stepped into my house and saw my father lying down, face down on the floor. I froze instantly, but managed to ask the police officer in a shaky voice, "What happened to my dad?" "He took his life. I'm very sorry." In those moments, I didn't say a single word. I couldn't process what they were telling me, or that my father laid like that before my eyes. All I could do was stare at him and silently sob. I was shaken knowing that my birth had caused him to take his own life as a last resort to deal with the problems I had caused. After a few hours, the police took me back to the station and asked me a series of questions. I ended up staying a few nights there because I had no one and nowhere else to go. After 5 days, I was declared an orphan and was sent to an orphanage. It was my fault. The orphanage was small, dirty, and scary, and nearly every day I'd fall unconscious and they wouldn't give me food or water or even a decent place to sleep. This didn't only happen to me. Every child in there would be treated like this. Sometimes I think I was better off with my dad. It took 4 years until I was able to leave that place and was sent to a foster home with a family I didn't know. They looked like nice people and treated me kindly, but I never fully trusted them or let them get close. I didn't want to be another burden, create problems, or break their family apart like how I had broken mine. Luckily, I did make a friend at my new school, Lucas. We became best friends and I thought of him as my brother. He lived 2 blocks away, which was perfect because we would go to school together, go over to his house, and sometimes spend the night. I was beginning to feel happy until I found out he was going through his own problems. He showed me the medications he'd have to take. He'd say worrying things to me, like he didn't want to live anymore and felt empty. I was afraid for him because I didn't want to lose the only person in this world that I ever trusted. I tried my best to make him happy and spend time together, but that didn't stop him. 1 month after my 13th birthday, Lucas decided he'd take all of his medications at once and fell into a deep coma. The last person he had spoken to before that was me. It was my fault. I was sad, broken, empty, and lost. I didn't know what to do anymore. His mom started texting me every day and calling me saying, "You are the worst person ever. It's all your fault. My son did it because of you. Why were you the last person he spoke to? Why didn't you stop him, huh? You wanted him to do it, didn't you?" I heard this every day, being told it was my fault. Eventually, I told my foster parents about it, and they stopped communicating with Lucas's family, even moving us to the other side of town. I was finally happy, I thought to myself, But every day and night, the memories from the past would haunt me and break me down into millions of pieces. Memories of a mother I never got to know. Memories of kids reminding me I was the cause of another person's passing. Memories of my father taking his own life. Memories of the orphanage mistreating everyone. And memories of Lucas with his bottle of pills and falling into a coma. It's my fault, but it's okay. After Lucas woke up from his coma, he could see how much he had hurt his parents. He promised himself that he would try the best he could to get better, that he wouldn't let his depression ever hurt him or his parents ever again. He started to change his mindset and focus on only the positive things in his life instead of the negative. He found that meditating daily helped him to overcome the negativity that clouded him. He said something to me one day that started to change the way I looked at life as well. I would wake up hopeful for a better today and a happier tomorrow. I would wake up knowing I am stronger than I was yesterday. I would wake up forgetting about the negative past to a more joyous future. I don't believe his words were only given to me, but for those who need it when they are at their loneliest and darkest moments. Just remember, it's not your fault. Bad stuff happens to everyone, and you can't change that. But what you can change is the way you look at your problems. If you break down and give up, you will grow weaker and weaker every day. But if you overcome those problems and solve them, you will become strong. Just know that with every problem you go through, you will grow stronger until you are unstoppable. Lucas. When you hear the same negative messages over and over again, your wounds never heal, but instead only deepen. Meditation helps because it is a daily reset button in your life, allowing you to start each day with balance and positivity. With it, the effect of life's challenges never really gets a chance to deepen or snowball out of control. Heartfulness practices are simple, but you feel their impact every single day. Learn more by clicking the link in the description below and watching our introduction video.